What would happen if you drank coffee every day for an entire week? Most people already think they know the answer. More energy, more focus, maybe a little trouble sleeping. But what if some of the first changes had nothing to do with energy at all? And what if one of the biggest surprises didn't appear until the end of the week? Coffee is one of the most popular beverages on Earth. Every day, billions of cups are consumed around the world. For some people, coffee is simply a drink. For others, it's a daily ritual, a morning necessity, a source of comfort. But what happens when you drink coffee every single day for 7 days? Let's find out. Day 1. The first cup feels amazing. Within minutes, caffeine begins entering your bloodstream. As it travels through your body, it blocks a chemical called adenosine. Normally, adenosine builds up throughout the day and makes you feel tired. When caffeine blocks it, something interesting happens. You suddenly feel more awake, more alert, more focused. Tasks seem easier. Your reaction time may improve. Your mood may even get a small boost. At this point, coffee feels almost magical, and that's exactly why so many people love it. But beneath the surface, something else is already happening. Your heart may begin beating slightly faster. Your blood pressure may temporarily increase. And tomorrow, your brain may start responding in a way many people never expect. Day 2. By day 2, your body is beginning to learn something. It has noticed the caffeine, and it is already starting to adapt. This doesn't mean coffee has stopped working. Far from it. You still feel more alert after drinking it, but the relationship between your brain and caffeine is beginning to change. Many people notice something surprising on day 2. They start looking forward to coffee before they even drink it. The smell, the routine, the anticipation. Coffee isn't just affecting the body anymore, it's becoming part of a habit, and habits are powerful. But the most interesting effect may have nothing to do with your brain. For some people, coffee begins affecting the digestive system surprisingly quickly, and that's where day 3 gets interesting. Day 3. By day 3, many people notice a change in digestion. Some feel their stomach becoming more active shortly after drinking coffee. Others notice they visit the bathroom more frequently. Researchers believe coffee may stimulate muscles in the digestive tract. For some people, that's a benefit. For others, it can be uncomfortable. But digestion isn't the biggest surprise. The biggest surprise may be how your energy starts behaving. Remember that boost you felt on day 1? Now it may not feel quite as strong. The coffee still works, but your body is already becoming slightly more familiar with caffeine. And that raises an important question. If the energy boost feels smaller after only a few days, what happens by the end of the week? That's where things start getting really interesting. Day 4. By day 4, many people begin noticing something they didn't expect. The coffee is still working. You're still drinking the same amount. But somehow, the boost doesn't feel quite as powerful as it did on day 1. This is where things get interesting. Your brain is remarkably adaptable. When caffeine repeatedly blocks adenosine, the chemical that makes you feel sleepy, your brain may start responding by producing more adenosine receptors. Think of it as your brain trying to restore balance. The result? The same cup of coffee may not feel quite as strong as it did a few days ago. Many people solve this by drinking more coffee. A second cup, maybe a third, and that's where the experiment can begin moving in a very different direction. Because the next change isn't about energy, it's about sleep. Day 5. Most people think coffee only affects them while they're awake. But what happens at night may be even more important. Caffeine can remain in the body much longer than many people realize. For some individuals, a portion of that morning coffee may still be present in the bloodstream many hours later. You may fall asleep normally. You may even think you slept well. But sleep quality can be a different story. Researchers have found that caffeine may reduce certain stages of restorative sleep in some people. That means you can spend enough hours in bed and still wake up feeling less refreshed. And here's where the cycle begins. You wake up tired, so you drink more coffee. The coffee helps temporarily, but if sleep quality continues declining, you may need even more caffeine the next day. Many people never notice this cycle forming, but by day 6, it may become much harder to ignore. Day 6. This is the point where many people believe coffee is giving them energy. But what if the opposite is happening? At first, that sounds strange. After all, caffeine clearly makes you feel more awake. But consider this. If your body has started adapting to caffeine, part of the energy boost you're feeling may no longer be true stimulation. Instead, it may simply be relief from feeling tired. In other words, you're not necessarily climbing above your normal energy level anymore. You may simply be returning to baseline. This is one reason many coffee drinkers report feeling sluggish or irritable when they miss their usual cup. The body has started expecting it. And when it doesn't arrive, you notice. Some people experience mild headaches. Others feel less focused. Some simply feel off. This doesn't mean coffee is harmful. It simply means your body is adapting. And tomorrow, we'll reach the end of the experiment. The results may not be what most people expect. Day 7. After a full week of drinking coffee every day, most people expect one dramatic conclusion. Coffee is either good or coffee is bad. But the truth is usually much more complicated. You may notice improved alertness, better focus during certain tasks, a stronger morning routine, and, for some people, improved mood. At the same time, you may also notice increased dependence on that daily cup. You may feel less energetic without it. You may experience disrupted sleep if you drink it too late. And some individuals may become more sensitive to anxiety, jitters, or digestive discomfort. So who wins, the coffee or the body? The answer may be neither, because coffee is not really the main story here. The main story is how your body responds to it, and that response can be very different from one person to another. What happens if this continues? Now, let's go beyond 1 week, because this is where coffee becomes fascinating. Unlike many foods and drinks we've discussed, coffee has been studied extensively. And some research has found potential benefits associated with moderate coffee consumption. Several studies have linked regular coffee intake with lower risks of certain health conditions. Researchers continue investigating potential connections involving brain health, liver health, and metabolic function. But there's an important word there: moderate. The goal isn't to drink coffee all day long. More is not always better. Most experts suggest paying attention to how your own body responds. If coffee improves your focus without disrupting sleep, that's one thing. If it causes anxiety, insomnia, rapid heartbeat, or digestive problems, that's something else entirely. The healthiest amount often depends on the individual. The biggest surprise. Remember the question we asked at the beginning? What was the biggest surprise? Most people expected this experiment to be about energy. But the most interesting changes may actually involve adaptation. Your brain adapts, your sleep adapts, your habits adapt, and before long, coffee becomes more than a beverage. It becomes part of a daily routine. That's why coffee is one of the most beloved drinks in the world. Not simply because of caffeine, but because of the ritual, the smell, the comfort, the predictability, the feeling of starting the day. The bottom line. After 7 days of coffee, you probably won't become a completely different person. But you may notice subtle changes, more alertness, a stronger routine. Possible changes in sleep, a growing dependence on that morning cup. And perhaps most importantly, a greater appreciation for how quickly the body adapts. Coffee isn't automatically good, and it isn't automatically bad. Like many things in health, the real answer often depends on balance. The right amount for one person may be too much for another, and listening to your body may be more important than any headline you read online. So here's a question for you. Could you go 7 days without coffee, or are you already thinking about tomorrow's cup? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Lean Life for more health, nutrition, and wellness content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.